I like logic.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, yes, I'm telling you, like at the end of the day, they were calling on the show to talk to me. It's not like I was shooting my shot at these
Cringy.
guys. So of course, that was literally the game. They call in, you tell me a little bit about yourself. If I'm rocking with it, cool, we have a conversation. Then I'm a pineapples you. Like that's literally what it was.
I
But
got
I'm just saying you're but let me finish. But in addition to you saying all of that, it also turned into she likes athletes or she's this or and then Taylor is that B Taylor, you're even like, oh, she probably didn't deserve him. Like, girl, wait. That's because I never said all of that on the show. Like y'all literally took that and ran with it just because. So let me ask y'all this. So y'all felt like that just because he did what he did, then I automatically was just supposed to talk to him?
It's actually an educated guess that you'd be more interested in the athletes. Why? The archetype of an athlete is someone that is, high from like a body perspective, but then also a lot of athletes have a lot of game, right? They know how to talk to women, right? Because they've been around women a lot in their life. So they've gained that skill set. So it's not ridiculous that people would assume that by how you treated the nuclear physicist.
I think it's like I'm a little bit older than you, so like I've been in your situation where like I've dated whatever, and I can tell right off the bat you were proud of like, oh, I don't care about money because I've done this, I've done that. Like you're one of a million at this time in the mindset, but as you get older, I'm telling you, it's going it's the pool goes down, and successful men like that, because men like that
Get married
married
early.
young. So
Yes.
you're gonna find yourself later, and I'm not trying to be a Kevin Samuels because I didn't care about his message like that and all the times, but I'm just saying from experience,
You're
the men
repeating
that
his message.
I didn't pass up some very qualified men, and I look back sometimes, especially when I was single, and I'm like, dang, I didn't, So you're saying that you actually did connect with somebody who's not even established yet. I'm telling you now, you don't know where his plan is or where he's going to end up. If he's going to drop out, if he's going to be successful or whatever. But somebody like that that's already established, and to pass up on that because how you feel about your accomplishments,
Right.
I'm telling you later, I'm not saying where your life, but there's a lot of women that end up regretting those type of decisions because he seems more stable, and you're passing up a stable person over somebody who's still trying to figure out life. And that doesn't make a lot of sense and that's triggering for a lot of men because a lot of men reach these accomplishments. They go to school and they get these degrees, and they
It's
still
very
get
triggering.
passed up over dude that's still trying to figure life out. Like you say, you connected with a guy that's still in school and he's not established yet. Like it doesn't matter about that. You literally passed up a scientist. And I'm telling you,
Right. Pass up a scientist for another potential dude that gives her the BD energy that she's probably looking for. What I find so interesting is about her comments is what she's saying is exactly what Kevin would say, but it's in a much more packaged tone in her voice. But here's the shit is that Kevin said it in a way to get the attention of masses. She can continue to say it how she's saying it right now and will not. So although his packaging was such that he could reach a much larger audience because of the way that he delivered it. Anyway, let's just keep going.
within a few years, that a white woman's gonna snatch him up quick. So it's just kind of like,
But also in the same token, y'all also told me that, well, y'all also saying about me that I like athletes and all these other
It's all
things.
about
So
her.
I'm saying women like that end up passing over men like that. Well, I didn't say that. Maybe Crew Season can talk about that because I didn't personally say that.
She seems to be less concerned about the perception of how she came across and more concerned about them talking about the type of dudes that she likes.
I gotta say this too because it keeps getting glossed over. So this is a clip that is meant to demonstrate what is seen a lot.
Yes.
And again, like I said, when you have a real person in a clip, it becomes personal for that person because it's them that are being criticized. What we talked about was what was in the clip, and what was in the clip by your own admission was you had a certain mindset, a certain attitude. So for me, as a dating coach, this is literally what I do. This is a perfect example of what men deal with. Men come in, the women act as though they are here, and even though technically you are on a dating show, he is coming on to speak to you. For me, I don't care if I'm the Queen of England. I don't care if I'm running into a janitor. And literally, when I was still in corporate America, I did not treat anyone differently because of my position. So all I'm saying is, for me, it would have been nice to, if you didn't care, because I don't care if you didn't like him. I like what I like. So I'm with you all the way on that. It was what the energy was for me. It felt very dismissive, like, what about, that's what I picked up on. And then I could tell by what you're saying that you were turned off. But I think that there's a grace that we as women can have and saying, oh, you know what? I don't really feel a connection, but good luck to you. It's a totally different energy. Your energy, even right now, is very combative. It's maybe I'm the only one who sees it, but it's not an endearing, pleasant energy. And this is what I see as a coach. And it keeps people from having positive experiences in dating. So that's where I'm weighing in. I'm only speaking to the energy. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you date. I don't know anything about your backstory. It was only the energy that you gave to that gentleman on the clip.
Well, I also think at the end of the clip, though, I literally was like, oh, I wish you the best at basic training, like and you being shipped off. Like I said that. So I wasn't rude.
I think that there's other ways that you can do that.
Yeah, but come on, man. I don't let this
now I am combative because I do feel some type of way. I feel like y'all literally dragged me for Phil. And then now what you're saying, but the overall picture is honestly, let's keep it a buck. The overall picture was she didn't want him because he's a scientist. She would prefer to date this, and this. And that was the overall message, I feel like. Am I tripping? Is that not what was said?
Based off the video overall, basically, yeah.
Exactly.
You're only going off of assumptions.
I never said that I didn't want a scientist, and now I'm on here telling you guys that I think that what he does is awesome. I think it's dope, but I would have loved for him to share more personal information about himself because again,
why didn't you ask it?
Because she's lying. That's why this cap is still on, because she's not telling the truth. Fact of the matter is, I've talked about this on my channel. There's many dudes that speak properly, that read books and shit. What do you say? He was reading a strategy, something, that do all of these awesome things, high ass grades that are just not respected within the community. Black women just don't see that as masculine, and a lot has to do with the images that we all look at that look masculine within our community. Right? Which is so crazy to me because he's obviously a results-oriented person by all of the accolades, which means that he's disciplined, has high integrity, all of the good shit, as opposed to what she's used to or what she's comfortable with or what she sees as the image of man, which more than likely is less disciplined, less ready for long-term relationship, and probably has way more options.
That was
I also was on a time limit. Like I'm saying, it's pineapple.
Cat, you control it.
That was my first question.
You can ask him, okay, what do you do?
Hold on, wait. Y'all are talking at the same time. Who's going first?
I said, so you could ask, what do you do for fun? What are some of your interests?
That's the question.
Ask that instead of just letting them talk.
That's why it's cat.
You had some kind of interest because you did say it was a speed dating show. It's not just one. It's not just
so
one.
I think that's fair. I agree with that. That's fair. But I feel like that wasn't the conversation and what you guys were saying. It literally just turned into, oh, she doesn't want him because he's a scientist, or she's an Instagram girl, or he's probably too good for her. That's what it turned into. That was never the rebuttal of any of you guys' conversation when y'all were discussing this. That's
well, you start talking, your face was just like uninterested.
That's what it was.
Going off of the clip. And now that you're here, we're clarifying, okay, this is what we meant by this. Even some in the comments, it's like, yeah, we were talking about maybe she didn't like his swag. Maybe he wasn't missing some of that. Like, compared to the other guy that she may talk to. So we're only going to go off of what we're presenting. We don't know you, but now we're getting to know you. And you said it's not that. It wasn't about how he dressed or how he talked. It was simply because you said that you didn't like what he was saying. So I'm
just 2 seconds again, your face went.
Hold on.
Hold tight. Real quick. Because again, even though you done came on and you didn't explain yourself, I'm still gonna call cap on it.
I
gotta stand on what I said. I gotta stand on what I said, and this is why. Because I done interacted with a lot of women in my life, and I could tell when a woman is just not interested. And I think when the video started, just like I said at the beginning of this stream, you was like, okay, let me give him a chance, and then folks opened his mouth and started talking. And you like, nah, this nigga corny. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's what you was thinking. That's what your face said. And even though you did give them the formalities,
we were right.
It was formalities. Let's just call it a spade a spade. You I know sarcasm. I'm a master at it. I can hear sarcasm when sarcasm is being laid. Oh, wow, good luck. But hell no, you ain't got a chance. And on top of that, after it was over with, you called them boring. And that right there told me all I
hold them accountable.
Right? Because it confirmed what I thought initially.
Call them boring.
Mob, you said, nah, this nigga corny. That's not the type of nigga that I date. I'm good. But I'm going to let it play out to be nice. I'm going to let you talk. Let me find a
Nailed
reason
it.
to kind of hug, or let me find something I can cling on to get a detour about this situation. But this nigga ain't got no chance because he's corny. And my only grievance with that is that because again, people gonna like who they like. That's just what it is. And you choosing him, I could give two fucks. That's not my life. But I feel like you should have at least gave Son a chance. And what you did was you dismissed him before you even opened. Just like they said, if you were interested in getting to know him, and I'm sure y'all on the time crunch. I done been to, speed and date events before myself. I know how I go. Quick 2 minutes, quick minute and a half, whatever. But we both asking questions. It's both going back and forth. And that happens when you're interested. But when you're not interested, you giving one word answers. Okay.
Correct.
Well, damn. You looking at the stopwatch and everything. Oh shit. Okay, it's time. It ain't time yet. 30 more seconds. Shit. So that was the energy that I got from it.
That's all we saying.
And all I'm saying is that you should at least heard him out because
she's gonna deflect.
He was nervous. The nigga was breathing hard. Right from the intro. Hey guys, my name is shit. I don't remember the name. He was breathing hard right from the gate. So I'm like, okay, folks, nervous. So you could tell he's not used to talking to attractive women. He's not used to nothing like that.
Guys, this is a pivotal part in the conversation. And shout out to Cruise Season. That's AC speaking right now. Shout out to you, brother. I love what you just did right there. Okay, you holding her accountable. You holding her feet to the fire, but you're doing it in a way that allows her to hear and receive. Now, what I will say is, dependent upon her response, is whether or not she is of relationship, if not marriageable material, for all you dudes out there that are thinking about marriage. If she takes accountability for what he is saying, then she has a chance. If she deflects, moves the goalposts, talks about some other shit, then that's all the answer that you need. Let's see how she responds.
And I feel that I understand what you're saying. I just think my biggest overall thing is I just don't like the fact that it may seem like I want to deal with him because of what he does, because that's not what it was.
She
like,
failed.
I even think like what Taylor was saying, like, and just men in general, like, yeah, you gotta have a certain like swag about yourself, and
you gotta be a half pookie.
I feel like you have to have that. Like, that's what a man is. You know what I mean? If you want a woman to follow, like, and that's what I'm saying.
A man has swag.
15%. It's not because I'm like, oh, he's lame because he's an engineer. I'm not a scientist. Like, you know what I mean? That's dope. Like, but it was just, I think for me more so, it was just like the confidence thing. But to be clear and to give you some rebuttal on this, I did try to give it a chance. I didn't have to talk to him at all. It was some guys that came on there, and I immediately was like, oh, pineapples, because I thought he was cute. So I'm like, all right, let me see what's up. So you know what I mean? There was multiple guys where as soon as they came on, I'm like, oh, hell no, pineapples. Like, you know what I mean? So
just like I warned y'all, she deflected by utilizing the podcast topic instead of addressing the fantastic points that were just made. Like I said, she's focused on how she's being represented as opposed to clarifying the good points that the panelists are making. Let's play a little bit more.
Truth. Like, but I think, like, again, I just think my just what I don't like about it is because now and even like with you, Taylor, you're like with him, like now he might be discouraged with dating black women. I'm not responsible for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that that's kind of a reach to be like, oh, well, now he's only going to go talk to white women because of this, or he had this experience. Like, I think he even came back and called back in while I was still on the show. And he was like, no, I just want to try to know, like, it's all cool. Like, it's not that deep. Like, it literally wasn't like that. Now, I understand what you're saying, Yancy, maybe about my body language. Maybe that's something I need to be more aware of. But in general, I think I'm one of the sweetest people ever, but people think that sometimes, like, they might be like, oh, she's rude or whatever. I feel like I get stereotyped a lot because I'm attractive or I'm this and I'm that, but I'm like totally not even that person.
A smile will warm up any room. I cannot stress that enough. If you smile, if you give compliments, I feel like this is a thing, and I fight for men. People who are on there, I see some of my people, they know this. I fight for men because a lot.
Hold on, before she says that, early in the conversation, she said she does have resting bitch face. And then in this portion of the conversation, she said that I get stereotyped because I'm pretty. No, there's certain components within your personality which are going to allow people to have a perception of you. You have to take accountability for how the way that you're coming off and make alterations to that if you want to be perceived differently.
A lot of times their voice is not heard. We live in as much as they want to say we live in a patriarchy, this is a woman's world right now. The
Correct.
Media, everything. Men
especially in
cannot
Black
do
America.
anything right according to the media. So I stick up for men because they are ones who are paying for these dates. They are the ones going through and doing all this stuff. And I don't think that women realize what it feels like to be a man. They don't know what it's like to be rejected. So as a woman, I cringe when I see that type, which you've explained, I see that type of energy. And I feel like I feel like almost when you like a guy the least is when you should be the kindest, because his ego is already going to be bruised that you're not picking him. So try to find something, because somebody asked in the comments to give you something constructive. So to all women, not just you, but give someone constructive. Man, that's a really nice shirt, or, oh, your teeth are nice, or anything you could think of. Oh, it was nice talking to you. I hope you have a good night. I don't really feel like we're a match, whatever. But in real life, I think that would help a lot, because I just see women really, really hard on men. And they won't say it to your face a lot of times, but they go back home and it's like, hey, why should you have to do me like that?
And then
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think you should treat everybody the same. I don't know if you should necessarily treat unaesthetically pleasing people kinder because of the genetics that their parents passed down to them, right? Or lack of symmetry or whatever, however you want to call that. But I digress. Here's what I've concluded from this conversation. I think a lot of modern women today have been trained to be gamed. They've been trained to want swag over stability. And your accomplishments as a man won't matter unless you dress it up and sell yourself to be like what they're used to seeing. So you guys wonder why so many successful black dudes begin to peer outside of the community today, women? This is a perfect example. Why? For all of the dudes that choose to stay in, just understand you always got to put a wee bit of pookie up into your game. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Made it the whole way through with the blue cap on. This was a dope video though. I don't think that she's a bad person. I just think that it's oftentimes very important for people to get constructive feedback, especially from like dating coaches, regarding the way that they are being perceived. And especially for women to see how men are perceiving your behavior, your attitude, how you are responding to different situations. All right? Until next time, YouTube. Peace!